Good morning everybody, welcome back to my channel. Belinda here from Visualized NZ. I'm going to do a little bit of journaling today. I'm really struggling to keep up with my journaling, do videos and work on ideas and everything that I want to do. So today you get to just come along and watch me work on some journals. So I'm going to start off in my junk journal September because there's only a few days left to get it completed. And I am behind. So I'm going to work on the prompt for day 23, which is reflection. So I have ducked ahead and done one other spread ahead of this. I think all the rest is up to date prior to that. But so I've got, quite a few spreads still to do. More than 3 days worth, that's for sure. So I've prepared these pages just by giving them a layer of paint of a beigey sort of colour. And I like this paint. I'm not a brown person, but I like this paint. And I think it's the name of it. It's called Howling Wolf. I don't know. It just appeals to me. So I've put that down as a base because I had some magazine pages and a brown paper bag where this Sharpie marker had gone through. So just to cover that up and give me a nice base to work with. So I've got some really nice paint goobers here. These are old test pots that I was given. So some of them are, well, most of them to be honest, are quite thick and goopy. In fact, that one is too thick for what I want to do. So pop that one away. Just give my brush a rinse off. So I need to attack that with some Floetrol to get it to a better consistency. So let's go for a different colour. This is one of the colours I used in that heart over the page, and it's a really beautiful pink. And I'm playing here. I don't know if what I want to do is going to work. We shall soon find out. And I've just got a bit of paper in between my page here, just in case it goes over, because my pages aren't the same size. So I'm going to paint on one side, and then hopefully this works. I'm going to do my reflection like so. So it's going to be abstract. I don't know if I'll stick with circles, but for the moment I'm just going to go with that. Circle-ish, certainly by no means perfect. And I'm smooshing it down each time because the paint will dry quite quickly, particularly once I've thinned it out by smooshing it to the other side. And I have got the fire going this morning. It's supposed to be really warm, but it was so cold this morning and it was raining. Warm outside but cold inside, and you wouldn't believe it, I have a cold. I am so annoyed. So I started the month with COVID, and now it looks like I'm going to end the month with a head cold. So I've got a sore throat, my nose keeps running, I'm starting to feel a bit, those, how you feel when you've got a cold, you're just feeling a bit more miserable. And I have a busy day planned, so it's not what I want at all. I mean, nobody wants a cold, do they? So I was in an office last week with a whole lot of people who were sneezing and coughing and runny noses and things, so I think it was just inevitable, really. But super annoying. So hopefully my voice holds out, because I need to get 2 videos done today. Right, I'm going to change colour. So these test pots that I'm using are resin paints. So I don't know if they're in any other country other than New Zealand, but that's what I'm using. That's house paint. Not being too particular about my brush in between, just... Right, this one I think should be okay. Not too bad on the goopiness. So yeah, and just having a play with some colours, get this done, and then I'm going to switch over, hopefully, if we've got time, into my personal journal. And I've got yesterday's entry to do and a bazillion photos I want to include, so I need to be creative with how I include my photos. So I've got a plan for that, so hopefully we get to that. I'm not going to labour too much on this. I'm just going to sort of cover the prompt, which it's already covered, but you know, I need to do a little bit more. Oops, it's totally distorted the shape, which is fine. Reflection, if it's a reflection in glass or water, it's often distorted anyway, although it actually distorted the original side as well. That's okay. And I've switched the way round that I'm pressing down. I think this is actually quite fun. And I might put this aside and let it dry before I go in and sort of do some overlapping circles maybe. So maybe I'll switch to my personal journal and then come back to this towards the end of the video. Not really sure. As I said, I haven't got a, you know, well, I think I said, don't have big plans for this video. I just thought I'd bring you along while I have a play, get some things done, and a proverbial 2 birds 1 stone type scenario where I'm getting some journaling done and getting my video done as well. Yep, that's pretty cool. I might go in with one more colour and then set it aside to dry for a bit. So I've just got a glass of water to the side that I'm swishing my brush around in. And then a tissue just to wipe out some of the colour because I'm not giving it long enough in the water to really clean up. And this is a pretty colour too. It's a very pretty soft orange, and it's called Shirley Temple. I like looking at the names of paints. I think it's quite fascinating what they choose to, oops, it's a bit watered down, I think, what they choose to call them. I don't quite know why this is called Shirley Temple anymore. Well, I guess Howling Wolf is a little bit more obvious because wolves come in browns and greys and blacks. So I guess that's sort of understandable. But yeah, not quite sure why this colour is Shirley Temple, but it's pretty. So just got to remember to keep putting the paint on the same side so that I've got one side that's original and my reflection side. So I thought this was a little bit different to do for the prompt of reflection, rather than, you know, a photograph or copying something differently on both sides. And you know, there's lots of great ways of covering the prompt. And I've seen some really lovely spreads on Instagram for the prompt. I didn't see anything like this, and I just wanted to be a bit different, and also just play and do something that was actually quite easy and colourful. So far, so good. It's working quite well. I think I might want to change the size of my brush as well, so I get some different size of circles, because this brush doesn't lend itself to smaller circles really. Yeah, so I'm distorting it when I rub it like that rather than pushing down. So I'm learning along the way as to what works best. depending on what I want to achieve. So this is what art journaling is really good for, is it gives you license to play, and it doesn't have to turn out, doesn't have to be a masterpiece. You don't even have to share it with anybody else. It just allows you to learn and grow and play and stretch yourself without pressure. Yeah, so if I rub it like that, I'm spreading the paint and distorting my circles. So I have learnt that. I've got this gap here. Do I want this colour? I think I might go back in with my pink. Just do one more on the edge. Sort of torn. I'll do it in this because I've got it out now. Right, just cleaning my brush off again. Right, and these aren't expensive brushes that I'm using, so I'm not being too particular. Very affordable to replace, although I hope I don't need to for a while. I really enjoy this brush, and I'm not actually sure where it was purchased from, so I'm not entirely sure where to go to replace it when it does finally give up. But it's still got a lot of life in it yet. Right. Right, there we go. Just filled that little gap there on that first layer. Right, so far so good. Right, so I'm just going to pop that up with all my paints in front of me, get rid of my painty paper, and grab out my personal journal. So yesterday's spread I've already started. It's the 27th yesterday, and I sat outside for a while with my cup of tea, and I balanced it on my knee, and I just really liked how thin my knee looks, because it has changed shape this year, not as big as what it was. And then I've got lots of cat photos, and then I took photos of various plants and flowers outside as well, and I've still got to fit in my journaling. So I have a few too many photos, I think, but I want to include them all because it was a fun day. So I am thinking, I lined this paper, which was magazine page, just with a bit of brown paper bag. One, because the magazine is super thin paper. Actually, I'm going to move my paint away because I need that space just to shove things around. And I'm thinking maybe I can sort of make a concertina type pull out for my journal, so it takes up less room and I can open it out and see, and then it will give journaling room on the back if I wish. So this was the first cat photo from yesterday. Georgie came out on the big deck. We've got two decks, so this is what we call the big deck. It's like 22.5 square meters, I think, so it's quite big. And he was rolling around and chatting to me. And then he's our youngest, and this is the next one up, Snuggles. And then I was sitting on this deck, which is the smaller deck. It's a covered deck, and she was being all cute and rolling around and talking to me as well. So I'm thinking maybe I'll do the three of Snuggles. That one actually came later. Sort of like that. And then perhaps I can fit Georgie on the back as well. So I'm going to trim that up. Get my knife out and my ruler. And I'm not worried too much, actually. I'm just going to trim down this side first because I cut it with the scissors and it's not straight. So I'm just going to start by evening that up. And it's creased as well, so just get rid of those impediments. I've already got paint all over my fingers. Right, and do the height. So I'm not worried, you know, about having extra height. I think that's actually probably quite beneficial in many ways. So we'll go about there, I think. Try and keep it straight. Right. Put that aside, and then I'm just going to trim off this edge here and straighten it up a bit, just with my scissors, like so. Right, I don't mind this bit of green down here. I think that's fine. So I want, oh, don't do it upside down. I want to make sure that I've got enough room for washi tape to hinge it, although it wouldn't matter if it came onto the photo a little bit. Make sure that I've got room for all three. So that one can go right at the edge, I think. It's torn a little bit, but I don't think that'll matter. Get rid of my wet tissue as well, just to the side. So I'll stick this one on first because it can go right against the edge pretty much. She's matured into quite a lovely cat. She can still be very, very stubborn at times and mischievous, aka naughty, but she's certainly mellowed. She used to be so incredibly stubborn, but now she doesn't even bother to chase the next one up from her, which is Kelly. Right, okay, I'm just processing because I want to have washi tape on where I'm going to fold it. So I'm just going to grab, oops, I'm going to have a big noise here. Oh, sorry about that. It's the only way I could grab it. The thing, the tin on top was going to crash, and I knew that. I should have perhaps put washi tape before I laid that one down, but it's okay. So I just want to reinforce the folds because I suspect that they might give way a bit over time. And washi tape just adds some decoration as well. So just go right up to that photo. And I'm not going to wrap it around. What have I done with my scissors? Put them way over to the side. Because I'm thinking I'm going to use different washi tape for each section, just to have fun with colour and make it fun to look back in. So I've used that one. So go back here and lay out. Oops, don't do it upside down. Yep, that's cute. So we need another one there, so let's go with this one. Actually, I'm going to be smart about this, smartish, and we want it about there. Oop. Perhaps that pencil mark was a little dark. I can actually see it through the washi, so just lighten it up a little bit and hope that my washi tape is straight. Right, so we can put this one down now. So I've been trying to look for things to take photos of, and there are days where I have failed miserably. and had very little to write about. And then there's days like yesterday where I've just got so many photos and each has a purpose. So I want to really include them all. Okay, yep, I'm just going to change up my page here because it's already quite sticky. It's one I was using last night. Gosh, it doesn't take long for them to get all sticky and gross. Oops. And once again, I'm on my last glue stick, so I might be switching to the tacky glue a bit more. And Snuggles has an issue with flea dermatitis, and if she comes into contact with it, she loses her fur. So she's pretty good at the moment, apart from this bare patch on her tummy, which she just overgrooms. The initial loss was because of the dermatitis, but we're on top of that now, and now she just overgrooms it. So she's got this funny bare pink belly, which we tell her is not the most attractive thing, but, you know, will she listen to us? No, she just keeps grooming it and biting it, and poor fur does not have any chance whatsoever. This is going to work really nicely. I haven't done this before, so I thought it was a really good opportunity, a great way to get all the photos I want in the journal without taking up too much space. Okay, let's see. I've got room for Georgie there. Perfect. So I'm going to put another bit of washi tape down here, so I'll choose a different one. Looking for something colourful. Let's go green. So just a really good chance to add some colour in on the brown paper, because the photos themselves aren't that colourful. Right, hopefully you can see okay what I'm doing. I didn't check that I was actually on camera, but I think I am. Right, just give that a good crease down, and then we can put wee Georgie. Georgie is such a beautiful cat. He's really, really lovely. We think he's about 9 months old now, and he's been so cuddly this morning. He's when I went to the toilet first thing this morning, he jumped up on me and had cuddles. And then when I came in through into the lounge in my dressing gown, sat down, he came and had cuddles. And then I had to make him hop down so I could make breakfast and have a shower and stuff. And then he came back and had more cuddles, only that time he was wet. So the rain had started outside. So he got wet cuddles. Well, I got wet cuddles. And then I had to put him on the floor again because I needed to do the next thing. And he hasn't come back, but yeah, he's already had heaps of cuddles. So there, that's super cute. I do need still washi tape, so don't put it away yet. Don't. Maybe this pink stripe one might be good. Where's my journal? I've hidden it with behind my washi tape. Gosh, space is at a premium, people. Put what I'm not using now away so it frees up a little bit. And where do I want to pop it? I'm thinking over here. And do I want the whole thing to flip up so I can write on it, or do I want to pop it over here so it flips off the page? I think. Get your words out. Right. Well, it's not really my words so much as my thoughts. So I'm going to make it so it does flip right out. so I can write on the back and underneath as well on the page. I don't know if I've necessarily got heaps to write about for the day, but I'm sure I'll fill the space. I can always talk about the kids, just the cats. Just want to make sure it's sort of straight on the page. Here we go, and that flips up. And since we're using different colours, let's go with this orange one that I almost went with before to do the inside. If I can find the start. It is. Just straighten it. That little bit will go in my collage phone book. Right, there we go. So we have our hinged photos. There we go, can pull it out, see all of Snuggles and Georgie. I did actually take more of Georgie, but when I looked at them on the computer, because he was rolling around, most of them were blurry, so I chose one that wasn't blurry. So that's that, and I still have these photos. So this one is a vine that grew over from the neighbours, and they eradicated it, but it's a nightmare on our side. It grows up under the deck, it wraps around the lemon tree, around our native trees. It even grows up the wall and comes out in the kitchen. And we just can't seem to get rid of it. It drives me insane, but it is super pretty in spring. It's a dead agapantha head, which just seeing it against the blue sky, it just looked really sculptural and interesting. And then I noticed our lilac tree bush was budding, so I took a photo of the lilac, and our Banksia rose was in flower, just starting to flower, so I took a photo of that. And then our tiny wee lemon tree has got huge lemons on it, so I took a photo of that as well. So I still want to include all of those. I mean, I could leave out the agapantha head, that could go somewhere else, but I really would like to include those for the day as well. So I'm going to switch back now to my paint, because I'm sure this will be dry, and grab out, sorry for reaching, a different brush. Oops, and I haven't cleaned off. I've still got my other brush sitting in the water. That was a bit naughty. I've been taught not to leave your brushes sitting in water because it breaks down the glue that holds the bristles in. So I'm very good normally about not leaving brushes sitting in water, but I completely forgot. So hopefully it won't be too bad. Right, let's choose another colour for this. I'm thinking darker blue. Let's go for this one. I don't think it's too goopy. Slip my page in there again. Yep, I think it will be okay. It's getting to the goopy side. And let's cover up this, whoops, I don't know if this is going to make any smaller circle, to be honest. Never mind. Cover up this distorted circle a little bit. I think I need a bit more paint on there for it to transfer. Or maybe slightly smaller. Yep. Good enough. I mean, the reflection is never a perfect reflection, is it? Even if you look in a mirror, there's always some distortion or imperfection, or the light's hitting it the wrong way so you can't actually see. So, you know, I do love those glassy reflections though that you get in photographs when the water is super still and there's no wind. It's super pretty. Very hard to get those here in where I live in Canterbury in New Zealand, because where I am we always have wind of some description. It's very, very unusual to get a still day, and when you do, it's just glorious. Like, it's so noticeable and it's just beautiful. Right, that one worked better. So hopefully you're still with me, hanging in there, maybe even crafting along or doing some journaling or something creative. Let me know if you like this type of video too. I'm thinking about perhaps doing more of this, you know, still doing my making of journal videos, but perhaps doing one a week or something where I do journaling. So let me know if that's something you'd like or not like, because I don't want to be doing things that, you know, you don't want to see. That would be a bit pointless, really. Not pointless for me, because I'd still enjoy myself, but pointless for my subscribers if it's not something you actually want to see. Trying to make a smaller circle. And I might have to go down a brush size as well, even more. Right. Switch this side and just get one on the corner here. That'll be quite fun. So switching my paper backwards and forwards. Be easier if I had one under each side, but I don't. So now, oops, I'm getting paint on my previous spread. Oh well, it's fine. I can live with it. Okay, that one went a bit smudgy and it doesn't go right to this corner. That's okay. That's the thing about working in a junk style journal, is with different size pages and things. Sometimes things don't go right across. But that's part of the beauty too. I feel like one in here, but then that's all going to be in a row. So what do I do? Oh, I'm conflicted, guys. Really needs something there, and I would like the blue, but let's just do one up here, a small one up here, and then switch colour. Kind of funny circle, that one, but not really a circle at all. There we go. So, done with that one. Oops. It's got short bristles, this one. It's quite nice to use for certain things. Right, purple. Let's go purple. I haven't used purple in any of these spreads, I don't think. So it's about time. Let's do some purple. So I think I want to get another edge. Now I did put some wet paint on that, so let's turn it around so I don't get paint on my other spread. And start off with one down here. I really like this one that I did. Oh, and I've got paint on there. How did I manage that? This one was for heart. This spread. I might have to go and put a bit more of that pink paint on top of that to cover it up. Obviously it must have come off this paper somehow. And did I just paint that on the wrong side? I did. What a silly woman. I had it turned around the wrong way. Oh well, it'll just be the odd bod. Doesn't really matter. It's just we've got the one reflection working the opposite way. As they say, it happens in the big jobs. The one problem with turning a project around is that sometimes you do end up putting things upside down or back to front. But if you're trying to achieve a directionless piece of work, then it's actually a really good thing to do. So how far are we going? 36 minutes. Not too bad. So I will add a few more purples, and then I might, I'm not sure what might do. Need to think about it, I think. So I think this is just fun, and it would make a really nice background actually for ephemera, you know, if you're creating your own painty papers, or pages to go in a journal, or collage material. This would be a fun thing to do too. So grab yourself a couple of sheets of paper and smush away. I did that one back to front too. Oh, I'm losing it, people. I'm losing it. Losing the plot. I'll blame it on the head cold, that my brain is switched off. It's either that or the purple. It's the purple's fault. But I don't really want to blame the purple because purple's pretty. And the name of this one is Fascinator. Also an interesting name for the paint. Right, I'm going to put that aside now for a bit. Clean off my brush. My water, my clean off water is going sort of a purpley shade of grey. Very interesting. It's not a pretty, well, not really a pretty colour. Right, so put that aside to dry, and I might go in and I will just fish out, sorry for reaching under the camera again, a smaller brush. So this is the same set as the other brush I was using. And I really need a baby wipe, a wet wipe, so that I don't end up with paint in this journal that I've then got to try and cover up or do something with. So just give my fingers a wipe off. just to avoid any transference, since I'm switching backwards and forwards between projects here. Right, so let's go back in here. And don't worry, I'm not going to do my journaling on the writing part on camera. I will save that for doing off camera. And I'm just wondering about laying these out directly on the page, maybe. I don't know. There's a lot of them. Could trim that one down because there's just the sticky, scrappy bit underneath. Get rid of that bit. And these are different sides of the house. So the lemons is different side of the house to the floral pictures. Don't mind if I cover my hand, that's fine. See, I could basically do just a page of photos, and maybe that's what I'll do. What I'm tempted to do is trim this one just roughly, cut around it, and by doing so it gives me a little bit more room and just a bit more interest as well. And I've still got the blue sky without the distracting bushes in behind. It's like a lollipop. So, okay, I'm just going to start gluing down, because I've got heaps of writing space on this side, and there'll be little bits around here so I can write about why I took the photos. I think I can make it work, and then I can always hinge in some more paper if I find I need more writing room. So just need to get them down on the page. So with these lemons, I want to make some preserved lemons. I just need to buy enough oil to do the job. My friend gave me some of her preserved lemons one year, and oh my gosh, they're so yummy that we've got a really good crop of lemons, and I'd love to do some of my own. Actually, if I do that popping out from behind there, sort of partly over top, partly underneath, going to be tricky to glue, but not impossible. So let's get the bottom of that first. I think it was about there. And then the top bit that's overlapping a little bit, glue that there. And then put this one underneath it. My phone is busy dinging, so I think that's probably my husband messaging me. So once I've stopped this video, I'll check and see what he's up to. He's at work, but must be something going on or some question he's asking me. Wondering why I'm not replying, and he should know. He knows I do my videos at this time of the day. Or it might be someone else. Right, put that one there. So yes, this still leaves me room around to write about sitting outside and looking at all the flowers and being nice and warm, because it was lovely and warm, unlike inside, which was actually cold. One of the reasons I went outside, so I could warm up. And while I was having my cuppa, I also started a new book, and that was lovely. I haven't made time. Come on, get in there. I haven't made time for reading for quite a while, so it was really nice to get into a new book. and I got the prologue in chapter 1 done, so I was pretty happy with that. I was going to stop at just the prologue, and it's like the chapters are actually quite small, so I thought, no, I can do a chapter as well. And then I came back inside and carried on with my crafting. So it was really good. Get some vitamin D from the sun. Not that I was sitting directly in the sun, but fresh air anyway. And pop you there. So that's just a very, very visual spread of my time outside. And then with my pussycats over here, and lots of journaling room. And I can add more if I need it. So that's the spread. I will post a photo of it on Instagram once it's complete. If you'd like to see it, then hop on over to Instagram. The link will be in the description box. So that's that one. And back to the paint. Let's see if we can finish this one up quickly so I can let you all go. If you're still here. I mean, you might have gone half an hour ago. I don't know. Let's see what we can do with adding some red. I don't know if the red particularly goes, but I like red, so I'm going to add red. Some yellow actually would be good, but I don't have any yellow here with me. So put the paper under that side. The paint, whatever paint was on that, should be dry now as well, so should be all good. And let's go and put some small circles. It's going to be like some sort of disease, isn't it? It's got the pox. That's alright. I don't mind if my page is poxy. I can just call it my poxy reflection page. Somehow seems a bit appropriate when I've got another cold, or, you know, feeling not 100% again. I was really looking forward to, since I'd had COVID, of just moving forward and, you know, getting back to normal and everything being great. I did not want to end up sick again so soon. Such a drag. I actually like the red here. I think it's adding a nice little pop of difference. Pop of poxy difference. I can't get the word out of my head now. And then maybe, do I want to write anything on this page? Haven't thought about it. Just occurred to me, do I want to actually put any focal thing, or do I just leave it as it is, as the reflection? I think I might just leave it with the reflection. Not everything needs to have a focal image or something added. This can just be an idea that will remind me of, you know, if I do want to create some painty papers this way for collage or whatever, then this will remind me without the distraction of the a focal image or word or something. I'm feeling like I might need to do more of these than the other circles, just to sort of tie it all together. Make sure I do some overlapping as well. Oops, I'm losing my paper. I don't think I actually need it anymore. Paint on the right side. or the left side as the case may be. Right, where do you think I need some more? Down here somewhere. Maybe in here. I still need one where my fingers were. Maybe one right in the middle. This stitching I've got here on the side just makes it a little bit more difficult to press it down without damaging that page. Right, need one down here. Right, and I think that is done. So I hope this was fun to watch, that it was useful, helpful, or at least interesting. So there's my reflection page, a couple of mishaps where I painted on the wrong side, but this is supposed to be my right side, and then this is the reflection. So maybe I just need to write in pen. I'll do that actually. So I remember this is reflection. So I remember which side is which. So there we go. Just a fun, silly, colourful page in my art journal, in my junk journal September. So one more achieved for the prompts. Still got heaps to go. So I need to crack on with that, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for joining me today. Bye for now.